After a whole year of waiting, I finally have this bike in my possession, the Ryvid Anthem. This is a 72 volt bike that has a maximum power output of 14 kilowatts, top speed of roughly 70 miles an hour, and a claimed range of 70 miles, which is what I'm going to be testing today. I'm going to be putting this bike through a real world kind of Sunday ride test. I'm going to take it from my house in Beaumont, California to Redlands, grab a coffee, and ride back. I should be able to do this whole journey on a single charge because it's only a little over 20 miles, so we'll see how this bike performs in a real world test. All right then, man. First things first. Obviously, you know we got to do this. We got to test acceleration and top speed. So let's hit the reset. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Acceleration. Woo! All right, there it is. There's the power band. And that's quick. 64. There's 70. Top speed is apparently 75. I'm doing a little bit more than that. Dashboard is saying 81. Woo. All right, 80 miles an hour. That's what I said on the dash. We'll see what the draggy says. Okay then, so my draggy says my 0 to 30 was 2.9 seconds and my 0 to 60 was 7. My 1/8 mile was 10 seconds. This is probably the quickest bike I've tested on this channel so far, so good job with the Ryvid, man. 72 volts. There isn't like a crazy amount of torque off the line. I think that is because they want this to be an easy, unintimidating bike. But once you get above like 25 miles an hour, this thing just goes full steam ahead. That's good, dude. This is pretty quick. All right then, back on the road with the Ryvid Anthem. I've been waiting a long time to do a full test on this bike. I've always loved the Ryvid Anthem. I've ridden this bike many times at all the EV trade shows I've gone to over the past 2 years or so. And I gotta say, man, I always loved riding this thing. It feels so much like a real internal combustion motorcycle. The suspension is incredible. They got these fantastic Pirelli tires on there. The wheelbase is nice and small. It only weighs a little over 300 pounds, so it's a nice, flickable, exceptional handling bike. And yeah, man, big shout out to Ryvid for loaning me this bike for the weekend. I am going to be leaving the country to go watch the Isle of Man TT in the next couple days, so that's why I haven't had this bike for much longer. Oh no, we got a train. This is always the fun problem to have out here in Beaumont. Am I going to be the arsehole and just cut the line? Usually I am. Usually I am that guy. But you know what? I'm going to be a law-abiding citizen because we need some more of that today in the United States of America. I guess while I'm waiting, I'll tell you how to turn the bike on. You push that little button right there, which kind of looks like a microwave button, like a high-quality microwave button. That's not a jab at Ryvid. I like it. I like it. I should just stop talking. Now, with most electric bikes, motorcyclists like this guy will never do the wave. Let's see if he'll give me the wave. I'll do it for him. Nothing, nothing. He gave me like a little finger. I don't know. That's the best you can get out of Harley riders sometimes. All right, we're finally moving. I'm going to put the bike in eco mode for a little bit, kind of save the charge. My journey is going to be roughly 10 miles, like I said, so this should be no problem for the Ryvid Anthem, which has a claimed range of around 70. I'm taking the nice scenic back roads between Redlands and Beaumont. Absolutely love driving on this area. However, those trains, like you just saw, are a frequent occurrence, and they ruin all the fun of driving on this road sometimes. One of the coolest things about the Ryvid Anthem is that you can actually raise the back seat up and down with this little dongle right here. So I've moved that to the side, move that to the left, and the seat will raise, drop it all the way to the right, and it will go down. The bike will raise up about 4 inches, and the point of this feature is to allow taller riders or shorter riders the maximum amount of comfort. You can also kind of stop the height wherever you want to kind of figure out your sweet spot. I kind of like mine right in the middle. Another cool feature about this bike is cruise control. So now I can read a book, do my taxes, attack the enemy with a bow and arrow, all kinds of things you can do with the cruise control feature. I much prefer features like that over that little thumb cruise control stuff. I don't like that. That always made me kind of nervous. Like I already mentioned, man, this bike comes stock with Pirelli tires. I always loved Pirelli. Back when I was racing, I used to race on Pirelli tires, and they were always the best in my opinion. Dunlops were a close second, and Bridgestones were a third. I didn't like the Bridgestone racing tires. The riding position on this bike is more of a cafe racer style. It's definitely not the most comfortable position. I will say it's definitely not the most comfortable riding position compared to some other motorcycles, but it's not too bad at all. One critique I do have with the ergonomics of this bike is the fact there isn't a gas tank to squeeze your knees up against. So if you're doing heavier, harder braking, it is always nice to squeeze your legs up against the tank to relieve some of the pressure on your hands and your forearms, and you can't really do that on the Ryvid Anthem. That's not good. Oh, hey, look, a random pillow. I probably should have went and picked that up off the road. Another thing that's really cool about the Ryvid is that they did drop the price recently to around 6,500 bucks. So you're getting a high quality, well researched and developed bike for only 6,500 bucks, man. That is a steal for this. Is that a furry? Hey furry. He didn't wave at me. Anyway, one of the biggest issues that electric motorcycles have, even a bike as good as the Ryvid, is that they're competing against basically a perfect product, which is the internal combustion motorcycle. Combustion motorcycles are powerful, they're cheap on insurance, great on gas, fun to ride. I mean, motorcycles these days are damn near a perfect product, and I may eat my words in the next 5 years, but at the moment, the biggest issue a lot of these electric bikes have is the fact they just can't go the distance that a normal motorcycle can. So when you ride a bike like the Ryvid, you really have to keep in mind, you got to understand what this bike is and what it is not. Is this a freeway motorcycle? No. Is this a bike that you can go from here to Orange County and back? No. When you understand the limitations of these electric bikes, they do become a lot of fun. And doing the journey that I'm doing right now from Beaumont to Redlands should be a piece of cake for the Ryvid Anthem. All right, as we are edging closer to our destination, under the beautiful palm trees and the confusing drivers, we're here, man. So I'm currently at 65% range. At this rate, I should just make it back with enough battery. One thing I do love about the Ryvid is the charging cable. It is simply just a cable. You can easily wrap it up, super lightweight, toss it in your backpack, and take it with you, which is something I did not do on this trip. So do not make that mistake. Bring the charging cable with you everywhere you go. All you need is a 110 outlet, and the bike charges up super quickly as well. That's another fantastic feature about the Anthem. If you have a 220 power outlet, this thing will go from 0 to a full charge in like a little over an hour, which is this is probably the fastest charging bike that I've tested so far. All right, here we are, downtown Redlands. This is our destination. So from my place to downtown Redlands, I'm currently at 64%. Not entirely sure how many miles I did. I didn't know how to reset the trip on this. That's how we roll on this channel, man. I'm prepared. All right, here it is, Landmark Coffee, and it's busy as hell. So then from my place in Beaumont to my favorite coffee shop, Landmark Coffee, I am at 63%. If anybody watching this decides to come out to this coffee shop, which you should, get the Banana Foster. By far my favorite latte. It's not on the menu anymore, but if you know, you know. And now you know. Okay, so I'm going to head back home, still at 63%. This right here, Cornerstone Barbecue, is one of my favorite barbecue spots in the IE, dude. So good. And the Vault is one of my favorite bars. Great area. All around, man, I'm a huge pro Redlands guy, to be honest. It feels like a beach town, but without the beach. Okay, I'm going to keep the bike on eco for the rest of the journey. Well, as much of it as I can. You know, I should be able to make it back pretty easily, but it's going to be close. Like I said a couple times, guys, I'd really recommend bringing the charging cable with you. All right, so I just pulled up to Gerard's. This is one of the last non-corporate owned grocery stores that I know pretty much anywhere out here in the IE. So I'm going to stop off, get myself an alcoholic beverage, because nothing kills the pain, emotional and physical pain, quite like drinking. One of the things I do always forget when riding these electric bikes is to turn them off. Oh, sorry about that. It's awfully tight in here. Go ahead, dude. You picking up a lot of beer or what?
I always say no, and then I come in here.
Yeah, you can say that again. Lychee lemonade, the good stuff. Now, when you do come to Gerard's, do expect to pay double the price for everything than you would at a normal grocery store, but I do like to support the small businesses out here in Redlands. Real tight business community, so I always want to do my part. Even if it is only a $6 beverage, I still feel like I make a difference. All right, back on the road, running at 60%. I'm going to keep this bike in eco for as long as I can until I get to the main road where I am going to need the sport mode power to keep up with traffic. All right, I'm back on the open road. Currently at 54%. I got to switch over to sport mode in order to kind of keep up with the flow of traffic on this road. Like that? You know, this is probably terrible for my range, but I want to go see what that person dressed as a fox is selling. What are you selling? Cherries? I'll take some cherries. Hell yeah. Respect to you, dude, doing that all day. Cherries, I love cherries. Okay, how much for this bag? 10. They're gonna spill all in my backpack. Okay, thank you guys. All right, I'm currently at 43%, and the bike is becoming a little less enthusiastic with its top speed. I'm at full throttle. I'm doing about 62, 63. Still pretty good, man, considering that it's below half battery. At this point, I got no doubt in my mind I'm going to be making it home. I think I was just getting a little bit paranoid. But once you've been riding EVs for a while, and once you've had a few of them drop to zero on you, you get a little paranoid. Kind of like electric motorcycle PTSD. I am a victim. All right, now I'm down to 34%. Let's see how the top speed is in sport mode. 54. I think we can still do 60. We do have a little bit of a headwind. But okay, there you go. 33%, still able to do roughly the highway speed. I think you probably could take this on the freeway for some short distances, but I wouldn't be taking this thing on the fast lane at all. All right, so here I am, back to where I started. I'm not sure how many miles I did, but I'll have it on screen right here. So I've got back at 29%. I did notice a pretty substantial decrease in acceleration, not so much top speed, but yeah, man, so from Beaumont to Redlands and back, starting at roughly 95% down to 29. There you go. Overall, I love riding this bike. It is so smooth, so refined. They put tons and tons of effort into this bike. The research and development did a fantastic job with this. And all for the price of $6,500. That's pretty much a steal for an EV, man. Yes, you can, of course, buy a cheap, used internal combustion motorcycle and do triple the distance. Maybe even something with more powerful. Yes, I know, I agree. But after all, I test and review electric bikes. But I think in the next few years, man, these bikes are going to come a long way. And it's nice to see manufacturers like Ryvid putting a ton of money and ton of effort into this industry. And yeah, hopefully, I hope they succeed, man. But all right, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. See you all next time.